There exist individuals who harbor no animosity or disdain for humanity. Rather, they simply find themselves unable to comfortably endure the overwhelming sensory input of a bustling throng. The incessant chatter, the effusive laughter, and the relentless demand to constantly be on and present a persona, these elements prove truly taxing. One might observe them meticulously crafting justifications long before a social gathering is even scheduled, or perhaps deliberating at length, sometimes agonizingly, before consenting to a friend's invitation. Often, they gaze reflectively into a mirror, pondering with profound introspection why an act as seemingly effortless as merely existing in the presence of others can feel akin to an arduous, energy-sapping emotional endurance test. These individuals are not characterized by aloofness, arrogance, or a genuine desire to be unsociable. Instead, they perceive and experience the world through a distinct lens. The underlying psychology of people who actively avoid social events does not originate from mere timidity or an absence of engagement. Instead, it is profoundly rooted in a fundamental mechanism of self-preservation. It represents a subtle yet persistent internal struggle between the innate human yearning for connection and the deep-seated craving for personal comfort, between the desire to genuinely belong and the absolute necessity to simply breathe and find personal space. You see, for some people, social gatherings, contrary to their intended purpose for many, do not serve to replenish their vital energy. On the contrary, they systematically deplete their internal reserves. Each individual conversation often registers as yet another demanding mental tab opened within their cerebral landscape. Every outward smile, every polite gesture feels like an additional layer of a carefully constructed, energy-intensive performance. Their behavior isn't indicative of indifference. Rather, it stems from an intensified capacity for empathy and concern. They simply care with an exceptional degree of profundity. They possess an uncanny ability to keenly discern minute shifts in conversational tone, subtle micro-expressions on faces, and profound alterations in ambient emotional energy. They are acutely aware when an individual offers a feigned laugh or attempts to mask underlying discomfort. Indeed, their cognitive faculties are intricately configured for an exceptionally deep and intricate level of perception. This heightened kind of awareness, however, comes with a significant personal cost: chronic overstimulation. Therefore, social anxiety isn't always characterized by overt fear. Frequently, it manifests as profound emotional exhaustion, cleverly disguised as an impulse for withdrawal. Psychologists have extensively discussed the concept of introversion for a long time. Yet, what we often overlook is that introversion is not merely the absence of a social inclination. It is, more precisely, a profound craving for deeply meaningful and authentic exchange. Individuals who intentionally circumvent social gatherings are not necessarily avoiding people themselves. Rather, they are actively sidestepping the superficiality and shallow interactions that so often accompany large group settings. Their nervous systems inherently thrive on sincerity and genuine connection. Consequently, when they vocalize, "I would genuinely prefer to remain at home," this statement should not be interpreted as laziness. Instead, it signifies a vital act of emotional self-preservation. They actively seek quietude, not because they dislike other human beings, but because a tranquil environment is precisely where they can most effectively return to their authentic selves and recharge. There is also a deeply embedded psychological reason why certain social events can feel so utterly suffocating. Every group setting subconsciously triggers a primitive evolutionary mechanism within our brains: the innate need for social safety. Historically, humans evolved to survive and thrive within tightly knit tribes, and being excluded from such a group once carried the literal connotation of death. Therefore, even in contemporary society, when you enter a room teeming with people, your body instinctively continues to scan the environment for signs of acceptance and belonging. Do I genuinely fit in here? Am I being silently scrutinized or judged? For those individuals who are more acutely attuned to emotional nuance and subtle social cues, this scanning process regrettably never ceases. Their minds persistently analyze, compare, and assess their surroundings. It's truly no wonder that for them, staying home often feels like the path of least resistance. But herein lies a profound paradox. Many of these very people who actively avoid social gatherings often possess the most intense yearning for deep, authentic connection. They desire to be fully understood, yet without being overwhelmed or crowded. They seek intimacy, but without the vulnerability of excessive exposure. They wish to engage in conversation, but only when the words exchanged carry substantial meaning and weight. They want to laugh, but not within the empty echo of meaningless small talk. This, then, represents the quiet anguish of the socially avoidant, the perpetual tension existing between the desire for isolation and the profound need for authenticity. Because ultimately, it is not loneliness they genuinely fear. It is the distressing experience of profound disconnection while being physically surrounded by a crowd. If you have ever politely declined a social invitation and subsequently found yourself grappling with feelings of guilt, you have undoubtedly experienced this very paradox. You might scroll through photographs of the event later, observing smiling faces, glowing lights, and a small, insistent part of your subconscious whispers, "Perhaps I truly should have attended." But the deeper truth is, deep down within your being, you inherently knew it would not have felt genuinely right or comfortable. Not because you inherently lacked a place or didn't belong, but because you would have merely been present in body, not genuinely in spirit. You would have been covertly counting down the minutes until you could discreetly depart without appearing impolite. You would have maintained a polite smile while battling profound internal exhaustion. That, truly, is not belonging. It is merely an act of survival. Researchers who have meticulously studied emotional sensitivity have discovered that some individuals possess a trait referred to as high sensory processing sensitivity. These particular individuals process various stimuli, including sights, sounds, and emotions, with a significantly greater depth and intensity than others. Consequently, crowded environments can become profoundly overwhelming for them. Conversations layered over background music, distracting flashing lights, and constant movement are not merely distracting. They can be genuinely painful. Their brains literally register and process a vastly increased amount of information per second. To protect their delicate internal systems, they instinctively withdraw. Therefore, avoidance is not always indicative of dysfunction. In certain instances, it can be interpreted as a form of profound intelligence. It is the body's innate wisdom asserting, "This particular environment is simply too discordant and overwhelming for my soul's delicate balance." However, mainstream society rarely comprehends this nuanced reality. We reside in a world that consistently rewards extroversion. We commend the loud, the charming, those adept at working the room. Conversely, we often mistakenly perceive solitude as a personal flaw, interpret silence as awkwardness, and view deep reflection as a sign of weakness. Individuals who gravitate towards avoiding social gatherings frequently grow up hearing admonishments such as, "You genuinely need to open up more," or "Don't be so quiet," or "You're truly missing out on life." But what if deliberately missing out on excessive noise is precisely how they discover profound meaning? What if their inclination towards quietude is not an inherent problem, but rather a deeply ingrained personal preference? There also exists a more profound psychological stratum, the intricate link between one's self-concept and their social behavior. Many socially avoidant individuals have spent countless years navigating environments where they felt largely unseen or profoundly misunderstood. Over time, the brain meticulously forms a powerful association. Being in the presence of people inevitably equates to emotional discomfort. The subconscious mind registers and remembers rejection with the same visceral intensity that the body recalls physical pain. So when someone extends an invitation, their mind does not merely perceive a friendly gathering. Instead, it anticipates a potential replay of past judgment or discomfort. Therefore, it's not truly an avoidance of people themselves. It is, more accurately, an avoidance of emotional repetition. And yet the most fascinating aspect about these individuals is that they are frequently among the most emotionally intelligent people present in any given room. When they consciously choose to enter such a space, they tend to listen far more attentively than they speak. They possess a keen ability to observe intricate details that others often overlook. Their capacity for empathy runs exceptionally deep, yet so does their intrinsic fear of becoming emotionally drained. It is almost as if they hold an internal candle that burns with a brilliance brighter than most, but simultaneously melts at a much faster rate. Every social encounter incurs an energetic cost, and they meticulously measure that cost. However, this inherent trait does not imply they are irrevocably destined for a life of solitude. In actuality, many socially avoidant individuals truly flourish in profound one-on-one connections. They genuinely shine in safe, intimate environments where they are able to be their authentic selves without the pressure of performing. Studies consistently demonstrate that introverts and those prone to social anxiety often excel in the realm of long-term relationships because they invest profoundly once a foundation of trust is established. They might not attend every single party, but when they do show up for you, emotionally and mentally, their presence is deeply, genuinely real. The psychology underlying people who consistently avoid social events is not a narrative steeped in fear. It is, more accurately, a compelling story of emotional economy. Every single interaction carries an inherent cost, and these individuals have simply mastered the art of meticulously spending their precious energy where it genuinely matters most to them. Sometimes, the most formidable challenge for individuals who avoid social events is not the act of uttering no. It is, rather, the subsequent experience of living with the lingering echo of that no. This includes the persistent guilt that often follows, the quiet introspection, wondering if they have inadvertently disappointed someone, or if they have unintentionally closed yet another door. They often replay the moment repeatedly in their minds, earnestly attempting to justify their decision. I just genuinely needed space. I was simply too tired. Perhaps next time. But deep within, they possess an inherent understanding that this isn't merely about a single event. It is a deeply ingrained pattern, a predictable rhythm their life consistently falls into. Connection extends an invitation, and silence invariably responds. What most people fail to grasp is that this pattern of avoidance isn't typically born in adulthood. It frequently begins much earlier in life. Perhaps it originated when, as a child, they felt profoundly unseen in a room filled with people. Maybe they were the perpetual listener within a boisterous family dynamic, or the quiet, observant friend within a group of incessant talkers. They learned, through repeated experience, that remaining still was inherently safer than being outwardly loud, and that quietly watching was considerably easier than actively joining in. Over an extended period, that cultivated stillness gradually solidified into a core aspect of their identity. They didn't cease showing up, they merely ceased being fully present and engaged. Psychologically, this process fosters what researchers term emotional inhibition. This is the inherent tendency to suppress authentic expression, primarily to circumvent potential discomfort. It is not fundamentally about a fear of others. Rather, it is about cultivating a sense of internal safety within oneself. Peace can eventually lead to a numbing stagnation, and too much solitude can, paradoxically, result in self-erasure. The ultimate goal is not to vehemently fight against the innate need for quiet. Instead, it is to diligently seek out and cultivate connections that do not inherently shatter that cherished quietude. In the realm of therapy, there exists a widely recognized concept known as graded exposure. This therapeutic approach involves taking small, deliberately manageable steps towards experiences that initially feel uncomfortable or daunting. The purpose is not to completely eliminate sensitivity, but rather to gradually expand one's personal tolerance. For an individual who consistently avoids social gatherings, this might entail attending an event for a mere 15 minutes, then feeling entirely guilt-free about departing. It might involve opting to call a friend for conversation instead of committing to an in-person meeting. The overarching point is not to forcefully impose change. It is, rather, to provide empirical proof to the nervous system that connection does not invariably equate to danger. Slowly but surely, the body begins to internalize a new narrative. I can indeed handle this. But let us delve even deeper. Why does it sometimes feel so profoundly emotionally heavy to simply exist in the vicinity of others? It is because social settings inherently reflect us back to ourselves. Every single interaction invariably reveals something significant about who we perceive ourselves to be. When someone else laughs and we are unsure why, we experience a palpable sense of separation. When others effortlessly bond over a shared, vibrant energy, we can feel profoundly out of rhythm. That persistent dissonance serves as a stark reminder of our inner distance, the inherent gap between the self we publicly present and the authentic self we truly are. The more genuinely authentic an individual is, the wider and more jarring that internal gap can often feel in environments primarily built upon superficial connection. Thus, the act of avoidance, in many profound ways, is a steadfast refusal to fragment oneself. It is a powerful declaration: I will not split myself into pieces merely to belong. That is not a sign of dysfunction, it is unequivocally a testament to integrity. Yet, such integrity can often be profoundly lonely, because the world frequently mistakes stillness for absolute absence. People who consistently avoid social events are not always genuinely missing. They are merely elsewhere, diligently rebuilding their emotional energy, thinking deeply about profound matters that no one specifically asked them to contemplate. They are replaying past conversations in their minds, meticulously analyzing meaning, wondering if they were truly understood, or if they inadvertently overstepped. They live persistently in the lingering aftertaste of interaction. Long after a social event has concluded, their minds remain actively engaged, sorting, processing, and reflecting on every detail. This, then, is the significant cost of their heightened awareness. Yet, within that same profound depth resides immense beauty. Because when these individuals do choose to connect, the experience is invariably profound. Their conversations feel like a genuine sanctuary. Their undivided attention feels truly sacred. You never need to contend or fight for their interest. When they are genuinely with you, they are truly with you. They bestow a gift that most social butterflies cannot: unwavering, undivided presence. They do not flit superficially from person to person. Instead, they root themselves deeply into meaning. They are not chasing external validation. They are earnestly searching for authentic resonance. For many of them, the path to healing begins with a crucial reframing of solitude, not as a desperate escape, but as a powerful, intentional tool. You can genuinely love quietude and still possess a deep yearning for connection. You can thoroughly enjoy isolation without ever truly disappearing from the world. True balance is not discovered through constant external exposure. It is found in discerning precisely when to step forward and when it is necessary to step back. When you begin to observe your own inherent patterns without internal judgment, avoidance gradually transforms into self-aware understanding. You start making conscious choices, not out of fear, but out of a profound alignment with your authentic self. The world does not require every single individual to be loud and overtly expressive. It desperately needs listeners. It needs the astute individuals who can perceive and feel the subtle emotional temperature of a room before anyone utters a single word. It needs the ones who speak less but consistently convey more profound meaning. Social avoidance, when truly understood and appreciated, possesses the capacity to evolve into profound social wisdom. This is the refined ability to engage deeply and authentically, rather than merely frequently, because genuine depth, not superficial noise, is the ultimate creator of real, lasting human connection. And perhaps this is the profound hidden truth underlying this entire psychological exploration. The people who consistently avoid social events are not actively rejecting the world. Instead, they are deeply longing for a specific version of it that feels genuinely real and authentic to them. A world where they are not compelled to filter themselves into palatable, bite-sized pieces merely to conform and fit in. A world where silence is not perceived as awkward or uncomfortable. A world where sincere eye contact thoughtfully replaces meaningless small talk. A world where raw emotion is genuinely permitted to breathe and exist. Until they manage to discover that particular world, they meticulously construct it within the confines of their solitude. And sometimes, that represents the most honest and authentic kind of living there is. Because one day, when they do choose to walk into a room again, they will do so with a newfound intentionality. They will no longer be striving desperately to blend seamlessly into the background. They will simply arrive, quiet, profoundly grounded, and entirely whole. And the perceptive people who genuinely notice them will distinctly feel it. That remarkable presence that requires no external attention, that profound calm that seeks no validation or approval. That is the inherent power of those who once consciously avoided. They return with an unparalleled depth. And perhaps that is the invaluable lesson for all of us. True connection does not originate within the chaotic clamor of a crowd. It begins in profound solitude, in the diligent process of learning and understanding yourself deeply enough to confidently show up as someone truly authentic. When you truly understand and honor your own silence, you will finally possess something genuinely worth expressing. When you respect and uphold your own personal space, you will finally create the necessary room to genuinely let others in. The people who consistently avoid social events are not broken or flawed. They are, in fact, meticulously building the kind of profound peace that makes truly authentic connection possible. And when they finally do connect, it is never a performance. It is pure, unadulterated truth.